Last week, Gill presented a long and dramatic narrative while questioning Attorney General Bondi. He laid out what he described as actions taken by the Department of Justice under the Biden administration. Gill made a full effort to prove that DOJ conduct under the Biden administration showed excessive cruelty. At the same time, he pushed hard to portray the current Trump DOJ as far better than the previous Biden DOJ. But that effort failed because the American public knows the truth. What Americans have seen on their streets over the past year is something the United States has never witnessed before in its history.
Can you tell me, is it true that the Biden-Harris DOJ raided President Trump's home?
They did.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ allow Jack Smith to spy on over a dozen Republican members of Congress?
Absolutely.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ seize the phone of a sitting Republican congressman?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ and Jack Smith pay at least $20,000 to confidential human sources to provide information on President Trump?
At least.
At least. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ and FBI fail to apprehend the suspect who placed pipe bombs near the Capitol ahead of January 6th?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ target parents as domestic terrorists?
Absolutely.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ target pro-life Catholics, going so far as to interview a priest and a choir director?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ send FBI SWAT teams to arrest pro-life advocates with no criminal histories?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ use the FACE Act to target pro-life advocates while it allowed anti-life agitators to vandalize, destroy, and firebomb pregnancy resource centers and churches?
Multiple times, I believe.
Multiple times. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ ever determine who leaked the Dobbs decision?
I can't discuss that. No, under Biden-Harris.
Got it.
No.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ and FBI target whistleblowers for revealing waste, fraud, and abuse within the department to Congress?
Not to my knowledge.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ refuse to say whether it coordinated with Alvin Bragg, Fani Willis, and Letitia James in their lawfare against President Trump?
They refused.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ slow-walk the criminal investigation and prosecution of Hunter Biden?
That's an understatement, in my opinion.
Yep. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ determine who brought cocaine into the Biden White House?
They did not.
They did not. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ cover up the extent?
As far as we know, they did not.
Right, that's right. Did the Biden-Harris DOJ cover up the extent of the Russia collusion hoax?
Absolutely, in my opinion, yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ, seek leniency from a federal court for an IRS contractor who leaked sensitive tax information on over 7,600 Americans, including President Trump?
Yes.
Did the Biden-Harris DOJ sue Texas because the state wanted to secure its own southern border?
Yes.
And finally, did the Biden-Harris DOJ attack SpaceX for hiring too many Americans?
I believe they did.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
It is unbelievable, and I appreciate that a lot of this is being cleaned up under your leadership. So thank you for returning the DOJ back to its core focus, which is on the rule of law. And I think that we see the results of that. I've got a few more similar questions for you. How have, over the past year since President Trump has been in office, how have murders trended in the United States?
Since President Trump has been in office, the murder rate has dropped to a historic 20% drop in the national murder rate, lowest since 1900. 20%
drop in 1 year. That's incredible, isn't it?
And that's thanks to the incredible men and women of law enforcement, FBI, DEA, ATF, everyone working together to solve violent crime, along with our sheriffs, our local law enforcement, working as a team throughout this country, and our great state and federal prosecutors.
Yep. And how have robberies trended? Have they gone, even if they've just gone up or down?
Robberies, all violent crime, all violent crime has decreased, as well as robberies.
So murders, violent crime, the country is more safe now, it's fair to say, would you agree, than it was a year and a half ago under Joe Biden?
Absolutely, and Director Patel is working tirelessly to catch those, I'm sure you've been seeing, on the most wanted list. Mm-hmm. He and Deputy Director Bongino from day one said, we're going to get the most wanted list, and that's what's been happening, working hand in hand with all of our agencies.
Yep. And I want to thank you for that. Thank you for the work you've been doing to refocus the DOJ again on doing your core job. We're very happy with it, and I'll yield the remainder of my time to the chairman.
Okay, we saw how Gill and Bondi worked to justify the Trump administration, carefully responding in the hearing with yes, yes, yes answers. The questions were fast, the answers were kept short, and the entire narrative was framed in a way that suggested the DOJ under the Biden administration was more cruel, while portraying the current Trump DOJ as far better. But when this exchange is viewed not just as a hearing clip, but through the lens of real-world reality, the picture does not look that simple. The real issue is not what was said inside the room. The real issue is how that power was used across the country. And when we look at the trajectory of DOJ enforcement over time, it becomes clear that under the Trump administration, the intensity increased sharply, especially when it comes to immigration policy. During the Trump administration, policies like zero tolerance were not just statements. They translated into actions on the ground. People were taken from their homes. Families were separated. Thousands were placed into detention centers. In many of these cases, courts later ruled that proper procedures were not fully followed. These facts do not come from political speeches, but from court records, human rights reports, and investigative work by American media outlets. Enforcement operations carried out by agencies, particularly ICE, triggered protests across the country. People asked questions, people demanded answers, and in multiple cases, allegations of excessive force emerged. It is important to say this clearly. Not every allegation is proven, but it is also true that allegations on this scale do not appear without cause. This is the part that was missing from the narrative Gill presented. The focus there remained fixed on claims that the Biden administration's DOJ crossed the line. What was not addressed was how often, under the Trump administration, the DOJ and federal agencies were reprimanded by courts in immigration cases, in responses to protests, in the use of federal force. When Americans look back at the past year, they are not only looking at crime statistics, they are also remembering which period felt more fearful, which period made people feel that state power could be used directly against them. And that is why the claim that the current Trump DOJ is clearly better than the previous DOJ failed to resonate widely with the public. Because Americans do not only watch hearings, they look at their lived experiences. They remember what happened in their communities. They observe who the law was enforced against and who was spared. And that reality is stronger than any scripted exchange inside a hearing room. That is why, despite fast questions and clean, confident answers, the narrative did not fully take hold. Because the public knows what the record shows. Now, we will first closely examine the questions and answers between Gill and Bondi, without noise, without bias, and after that, we will break down each claim using records, reports, and ground-level facts. This is not about political parties. This is about the use of power. And when DOJ authority moves beyond its limits, questioning it becomes the responsibility of every citizen. Those questions still matter today. If you want to see this full breakdown presented with records and context, subscribe to the channel, press the bell icon so you don't miss the next part. Share this video, leave your thoughts in the comments, and thank you for staying with us till the end.